Hi SOE 300, my name is Bria Tao and this is my final report video on Kamiak Butte. In this report I will be discussing the geological foundations of Kamiak Butte, the climate interactions that we can see there, the biome of Kamiak Butte, and some of the observations that I made about Kamiak Butte during my virtual field trip. Before I get started with my report, I would like to cover the basics of Kamiak Butte. Kamiak Butte is located in Pullman, Washington, of Whitman County. We are interested in learning about Kamiak Butte because it is unique to the surrounding area. Kamiak Butte sits at an astonishing height of 3,641 feet. Although this may not be that tall compared to the numerous mountains we have in the state of Washington in general, the surrounding hills of Kamiak Butte are nowhere near as tall. Kamiak Butte is known as a forest island. Throughout this report, I will discuss the factors such as biome, climate, landscape that makes Kamiak Butte possible. Plate tectonics is the idea that the Earth's outer shell is separated into plates that glide over a rocky inner layer above the Earth's core known as the mantle. This outer layer is called the lithosphere and is known to be an estimated 60 miles deep. Its composition includes the crust and the outer part of the mantle. Underneath the lithosphere, there's an area that is malleable that makes the movement of the lithosphere possible. Subduction zones are convergent margins. These margins are where two tectonic plates meet. Kamiak Butte is known to be created from the movement of two subduction zones. Alfred Wegener, a German meteorologist and geophysicist, came up with the theory of continental drift. He published a paper in the 20th century about how the continental landmasses moved around the world. He believed that all of Earth's continents had once been united at some point and had slowly drifted away from each other. This idea is known as Pangea. The Columbia River basalt formed 17.4 million years ago. It was located in California, Idaho, Nevada, and some parts of Oregon. It covered nearly 63,200 square miles of land. The layers of basalt are dense and very thick. The flow left a low spot in the landscape. The formation was caused by the shifting of Yellowstone's vents. These basalts did not cover Kamiak Butte. The Bonneville and Missoula Ice Age floods formed Glacial Lake Missoula. When the glacial wall broke, the water spilled out in the direction of the Columbia River basalt. The water flow carved out the land. The Waialua Gap was where loss of soils were created. The floodwater came in to an abrupt stop that resulted in the creation of Lake Lewis. Towards the end of the Ice Age, glacial melting started to take place. During this time, there were powerful winds that blew from Portland to the Palouse area. These winds picked up and carried silt from the Waialua Gap. Over the years, this silt was ground into a fine powder by the glaciers. This fine powder is known as losses. Losses are one of the world's best soils for agriculture. After the winds came down from Portland into the Palouse, the area was left with the hills that we see today. These hills are covered with the loss of soil, making the area perfect for the cultivation of wheat that is grown in the Palouse. Kamiak Butte is in the marine modified continental microclimate. Due to its continuity, Kamiak Butte reaches high temperature, but these temperatures can change drastically and unpredictably. The average total rainfall came out to be 23.34 inches yearly. The graphs to the side show the weather patterns of Kamiak Butte. Topography can be defined as the study of the Earth's surface and its features. Topography looks at the Earth's surfaces, which includes mountains, valleys, rivers, and even roads. Kamiak Butte is located between two mountain ranges. It is oriented on a north to south alignment. The southern aspect of Kamiak Butte gets more sun, therefore there is less plant growth, while the north aspect receives minimal sun and solar radiation, so therefore there is rain shadow can be defined as the areas that are very dry and desert-like. These areas are typically located than but less areas than forest-like areas. The northern and southern aspect of Kamiak Butte are vastly different by comparison. One of the most notable differences is the vegetation. The northern aspect of Kamiak Butte is abundant in vegetation while the southern aspect lacks vegetation. The southern aspect of the mountain is so bare because the wind carries heat that comes directly from solar radiation. As a result, the response of the plants is to close their stomata, which ultimately prevents the plant from losing excess water. This process also reduces photosynthesis, the plant's ability to take in the CO2. Trees such as the Douglas fir and the grand fir are not able to compete with the vegetation on these sites. Side is known as the rain shadow side. In the figure below, the process is shown. Rain shadow is formed when the air travels up a mountain. This happens when the air is traveling to a place with low air pressure. When this happens, it makes the air that is rising expand and cool. As this happens, it loses the ability to hold water vapor, making it quicker for the moisture to reach the clouds. The vapor will eventually condense and form clouds. This process will result in rain or snow. The rain shadow side condensation does not occur as the air is sinking. This leads to the lack of clouds and rainfall. Due to the Cascade Mountains and the eastern parts of Washington and Oregon are often areas that experience the effect of rain shadow.